All right, my dogs, welcome in. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic because today is episode number 1 of the Zero to Payout series. In this series, I'm going to take you through my own personal journey of taking an account from complete scratch all the way up until we can request a payout. So, should be fucking awesome. Why I'm doing this, first of all, why the fuck not? Second of all, there's been a pretty severe lack of transparency in the trading space as of late. And I really, whether I get the payout in the account, whether I blow the account, whatever happens, I just want to show the raw reality behind day trading. So that is something that I preach all the time. I preach the ups and downs, and I want to show that whatever happens, happens. And I want to show you exactly like emotions every single day. I want to show part of this is showing my P&L calendar every single day. Now, I'm not going to film a recap every day. I'm sure there'll be a few days where I don't take trades, so I'm not just going to sit here and explain why I didn't take trades, but I'm going to show that calendar anytime I take a trade. So you guys will see exactly what's happening with the account, the ups, the downs, the whole 9 yards. You guys are going to see everything. This is a fully transparent series because I really want you. This is for people that aren't trying to fuck around. This is for people that are actually trying to learn. We're going to dive very deep into technicals. There's going to be a lot of strategy shit in here. We're going to go through probably a lot of psychology talks, emotions. You guys are going to hear about all of it. If I make a mistake, you're going to see me journal that and why a trade lost or why I broke rule, whatever it is. So very, very transparent, which I think will be awesome and will help a lot of you guys out. But one area where I kind of screwed up already is I passed the eval today, but I realized I probably should have started this before I even bought the eval. Would have been pretty cool. But instead, I'm just going to show you every single trade that I took to pass the eval. And I passed it in a couple days, so this should not take very long. We're doing a Top Step 50K account just because I feel like that is probably the most go-to account that beginners get when they're getting their first funded account, or even if you're advanced. A lot of people love the Top Step 50K, myself included, so most popular account, we're going to roll with it. Now, how I passed the eval. So I did post a recap of this yesterday, but I'm going to get into the trades I took yesterday really quickly, and then I'll get into the trades that I took today in order to fully pass the account. So we are on replay mode right now, and this is Tuesday, March 17th. And yesterday I ended up taking 2 trades, and the first trade, I actually blew the first account that I got, okay? Just being completely honest, the way that I trade evals, if you don't know, I am risking the whole entire drawdown. So you have a $2,000 drawdown and you're trying to make $3,000 to pass the account with that 50% consistency rule. So you can only make $1,500 in a day. Minimum amount of days to pass the account is 2. So I am risking $2,000 to make $1,500 when I take eval trades. If I blow it, oh well, I'll get another account and keep going. So we'll start with the first trade yesterday that I lost. Going into the morning, we'll get into that. That's the other trades I took. I have everything marked out. But going into the day, I was super bullish. We had this expansion pre-market. We had this draw higher. Very, very clear bullish bias. And when I saw price displace past this first draw, I saw that we had this very obvious draw here. This was a very obvious draw on the 1 hour and the 4 hour as well. So I wanted to see price go ahead and take it. So I was waiting we had a little bit of a range when price opened up in the morning. And you can see right here, price was ranging back and forth. Really not good conditions to be trading in. I was waiting for a breakout of that range and then some sort of safe entry to target this draw. So here, price finally broke out of that range. I wanted to see a retracement into these gaps here and then displacement up, confirming that price wanted to deliver towards the draw. I entered in right on this candle close. My fill was like right at the top of this candle, so I kind of got fucked there, but it is what it is on eval with how heavy I'm sizing. It really doesn't make a difference. But as you can see on this trade, I did not see a glimpse of profit. It went against me completely. There was not one time when my P&L showed green. So that was a little bit unfortunate. The reason that this trade failed, what I failed to realize, is first of all, it was the day before FOMC, so price action, we don't expect it to be super efficient, relatively slower. I had no idea price was in this daily bearish fair value gap. I had no clue. And this is the first daily bearish gap we've created in about a month. So you can expect price to be slower, respect that gap. And I wasn't aware of it. So I put down in my journal that, hey, come more prepared, check the daily time frame, make sure you have everything marked out properly, because shit like this can bite you in the ass. So I know that moving forward, it is what it is. Oh well, on to the next. So I loaded up some more accounts, and really all I'm looking for is, with eval trading, I'm just looking for a clear direction in price, ideally a strong draw in liquidity, and I'm looking for a safe entry to where if price is gonna go the direction I believe it's gonna go, I'm not gonna get stopped out in the opposite direction. So what happens? Price comes up, this is the 5-minute time frame. We don't take this draw in liquidity. Price comes back down, we respect this 5-minute, I believe it was a 15-minute as well, it was. And then we pop back up. If we respect this 5-minute continue up, if we're bullish, we're taking that draw in liquidity. It only makes logical sense. Instead, price comes back up and it fails to take this draw again, and we displace lower. So now I'm shifting my bias because any reason for us to move higher has now been invalidated, more than likely. So I'm gonna look to catch lower prices. Also, price was pretty overextended at this point. So I wanted to see some sort of retracement, and with evals, I am willing to be a bit more aggressive and take trades that I normally wouldn't take on a funded account. So I'm looking for the first 5-minute gap to open up. That's exactly what we get. When price retraced into this 5-minute gap, I zoomed down to the 1-minute, and I am just looking for confirmation that price wants to hold this 5-minute gap. And so I want to see this small 1-minute bullish gap get inversed. And when we see this candle right here, this candle happened very fast. I remember it was a strong candle. As soon as we just got below this 1-minute gap, I entered the position. I knew with the eval trade, I would have a very wide stop. So even if we didn't inverse it, I was willing to take the trade. Price ended up inversing the gap here. A lot of people probably would have gone break even, but I tell everyone in my Discord this all the time. With my eval strategy, if you're going to trade it, which is risking the whole drawdown on the account, you have to just let these trades play out. I do not go break even unless we are completely just edging a draw on liquidity, or if we get an SMT with ES and it takes a draw and NQ doesn't. That's the only time I will go break even. So I let this thing play out, and it hit for 1500, and I was only targeting, it was relevant on the 15-minute time frame. It was this 15-minute low right here. So pretty simple stuff. So end of the day, like I said, I blew the one account, is what it is. I'm willing to blow accounts. I'm just trying to pass these fast, but end of the day, up 1500 on this one. So now we go into the next day. So, which is today. I don't even think I need to be in replay mode for this, but I actually ended up taking a trade in Asia session, and this was last night around midnight or so, because price had come down. We respected this 1 hour gap. We chopped around for a little bit and then immediately started displacing with pretty nice volume towards this obvious draw in liquidity that we did not hit earlier in the morning. So I really had strong conviction that this draw was going to get hit. There was pretty much no doubt in my mind. Luckily, I got done at the gym at a reasonable time, came home, had my meal, and I go to the gym pretty late. And when I was done eating, I saw that this was looking pretty free, and so I decided to hop on the chart and see if I could catch an entry. But I'm actually gonna, yeah, it's cool. So when trading Asia session, holy shit, when trading Asia, you have to be careful because you can get chopped up on the 1-minute time frame very, very easily. Okay, it's very easy to get chopped up, and whenever I'm trading Asia, I am more so looking at the 5 and the 15-minute time frame, and then I'm zooming into the 1-minute to see if I can get an entry on the 1-minute, but it's always going to be backed by the 5 and the 15-minute time frame. So what happened here is I saw price was coming up towards the draw. I honestly did not think I was going to get an entry at this point, but then I saw that price had this 15-minute gap, and so far we did not tap into this 15-minute gap. We didn't tap into this one. The only 15-minute gap we had got respected. So if price is pumping towards this draw, we're not invalidating any 5 or any 15-minute gaps, I'm going to be pretty confident that price is going to deliver to the draw. So I see that we had this 15-minute gap right here. that was my condition, basically just saying, hey, if this gap wants to hold, I think we take the draw. If not, then we probably edge it again. But I took this trade based off of the 5 minute. Price came down, a little bit slow, kind of a choppy retrace kind of shit. As soon as we had this 5 minute close right here, this is where I entered the trade. It really doesn't get much more textbook than that. Slow retrace down, displacement out of the gap that is stronger than the retrace. And I was just looking to, well, actually, hold on. I wasn't just looking to target this draw. I was max amount of contracts. In order for me to get 1,500, my take, it was at 148. Yeah, I think it was just, yeah, I remember because I would have gotten edge. So 148.25 is where my take profit was for 1,500. And then with this trade, I wouldn't have had to stop. So you're looking at something along the lines of this. Now, the plan behind this was once price came up and we started slowing down, edging this draw a little bit, I obviously wouldn't break even. Like I said, it's the only time I'll go break even. But I was hoping for a classic Asia flush through the draw and squeeze out a couple extra points. But if I noticed that price was hitting this draw and then rejecting it, I was just gonna manually close and walk away with 1,000, 1,100, whatever I ended up getting. And unfortunately, on this candle right here, when I saw us poke up and start to reject, I just closed the trade. It was plus 1,000 on the account, so I still needed 500 more to pass. And if I would have just held, we would have more than passed the account, but I'm not. This trade happened 2 minutes before midnight. So 2 minutes before midnight open, we're immediately rejecting a very strong draw. I'm not a fucking dumbass. Like, I'm not gonna hold that trade. I'm just gonna take what I can get and move on. I knew today was FOMC, so I was either expecting, some sort of volume in the afternoon, maybe after. So I figured it'd be a pretty easy day to pass an eval, but either way, we were up 1,000 on that trade, so we move on to the next. That brings us to this morning. So I needed $500 more to pass this evaluation. So the way that I was going about that was, okay, I'm just gonna take 1-to-1. So I'm gonna risk 500 to make 500. And going into this morning, you can see, this is 8 a.m. candle. What are the 15-minute time frame? So this is right before market open. Very, very, very bearish, okay? There's really no reason to be bullish in this case. We have invalidated all of these 1 hour bullish gaps along the way up here. Yeah, we're still in this one, but at this point, I'm expecting price to keep flushing. We have really nice draws lower. And just look at that displacement. That's pretty big for pre-market. So I told the Discord, I said, going into the morning, I am using this 15-minute gap as my condition. If we hold this gap and go lower, I'm gonna short. If we run through this gap, then we did have 8:30 data highs. I think this was PPI, but it's really not that significant of a candle, so I wasn't, I really wasn't too convinced we were gonna go take it. I was still very much leaning short. Now, what happened is price opened up and we got this move inside of the 15-minute gap, and then we had this displacement lower. I wasn't completely convinced we were gonna go lower yet. I wanted to see a candle closure outside of this 15-minute gap, which we did not get. So I'm seeing price continue to stay inside of this fair value gap. And then when I saw this retrace right here, that is where I entered longs towards data high. Because the way that I thought about it was, if we wanted to respect this 15-minute gap and go lower, we would have done it on this candle. It only makes sense. But when price comes up and inverses this 1 minute, then I'm gonna be pretty confident that we're gonna be bullish and go towards data high. So I entered this trade with a starter size because I was gonna look to add if we could get another retrace, because this was still, I guess it wasn't that far. It was like 60 points from the draw. But I went in, I was risking $200 on this, and I was just gonna add if we kept pumping up. That was the plan. Unfortunately, that is not what ended up happening. This is where I was trying to add if we could get a retrace here and pop up. At this point, I was pretty confident that the trade was gonna get ran through, and then we did. We ended up getting stopped out, which only lost 200 on the trade. So is it that big of a deal? No, but I wanna show all the wins and losses here. So now I need $700 to pass the eval. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wait until it's dumb clear. I'm gonna take a step back, wait till we either close through this 15-minute gap or completely just run out of it and dump lower. And it was, we chopped around a lot today, it kind of sucked. It was here where I was convinced that we were going to run lower because clearly we had come up into this 15-minute gap. We chopped around, failing to go higher and take the data highs, and now we are taking this move lower. So I'm looking for some sort of safe, confident entry, and then I believe it was the next candle where I entered. Yeah, right here. So as soon as we had this retrace into this 1 minute gap, I'm just looking for, is price gonna respect it? If so, we are definitely gonna go lower. If we blow through it, we're just gonna make our way up inside this range. And that was the whole point of this, like how I sized on this trade, was if I'm doing a 1-to-1 here, my stop is at a point where if price comes all the way back up here, we're just gonna keep ranging. So my trade idea is fucking invalidated at this point. So price comes down, and it was a very, very, very clean trade. So really no drawdown on this trade, very good context behind it. All I needed to target was low-hanging fruit in order to pass the eval, and that is exactly what happened. So pretty straightforward. Here, this was just kind of a confliction of bias. Like I probably shouldn't have entered that trade. I'm not mad about it. It is what it is, but I haven't journaled yet today. I am gonna put in my journal that if you're going to target a draw in liquidity in the opposite direction of your bias, you need to make sure that all conditions are ran through. And by conditions, I'm talking about this 15-minute gap. So is what it is, but now we have the new account. And all right, I had to cut it real quick because when I went to log into the Top Step account, it showed my email and whatnot, and I do not need any of you guys sending me dick pics. So here is the Top Step account. You can see it's completely fresh. 50K Express, I've got it titled so I don't get it mixed up with any of my other accounts. Balance is 0, max loss sum is 2,000. Scheduled maintenance, hopefully it doesn't boot me out of here, but performance stats, everything is completely fresh. And this is the P&L calendar I will be showing you guys every single time I take a trade. So you'll be able to see how many trades I've taken, what I've done for the month. Everything is going to be super, super, super transparent, which I feel like a lot of you guys need right now with all the bullshit going on in the trading space. You guys know probably a lot of what I'm talking about, but yeah, I think this is a good way to kind of separate myself from all that shit because I think it's ridiculous. But this will be very, very good whether I blow the account, whether I pass it, or not pass it, but get a payout. It's just, I want to be very transparent and give you guys the reality of trading. So when it comes to the rules for this series, I don't want to treat this account as I'm just going to size really heavy on one trade and then scalp 4 winning days to get a payout. Like that's not what I'm looking to do here. I want to replicate this series as in if I was someone who maybe I've been trading for a while now and I've passed lots of evals, but I just can't seem to get a payout. I just keep blowing them after I pass the eval. As if I was someone in those shoes, just looking for almost a last sign of hope. Like, is this shit even possible? So I'm not going to be sizing. I'm going to be sizing relatively lighter on this account. I am going to be a lot more picky with my trades. And really, I just want to showcase discipline, okay? If you're struggling with revenge trading, FOMO, whatever it is, I want to show you that it is possible to remove that shit from your brain because I did all that shit too, okay? And I still make mistakes to this day, and if I do, you guys will see that. But you can be damn near perfect, and I want to show you guys that when it comes to the charts. So we are not going to be going for full ports on the account. We're not going to be trading super high impact Newton, none of that shit. We're going to take this very seriously, look for A+ setups, and overall be the most disciplined trader we can be. And if that ends up blowing the account, then oh well, then you have to accept that conditions are not in your favor right now, and that's fine. It's a part of trading. That's why I'm starting this series, because I can't really back out of it. So what I'm going to do first is, because I'm going to be sizing a little bit lighter on this account, we're going to go into the risk settings here. And then for the personal daily loss limit, I'm trying to think, because usually I risk, like if I was building an account, I'd risk around 700 per trade. Sometimes if I'm really confident, I'll risk half the drawdown. But I think for this account, we'll do For now, we're gonna set the personal daily loss limit to 500, okay? So we're gonna set it at 500. Maybe it'll go up to 650, I'm not sure. But for now, we're gonna do 25% of the drawdown. And if we hit our personal daily loss limit, we are going to liquidate and block ourselves for the rest of the day. And I think that's all I have to do. Yeah, we're not gonna do the max trades because that's if I have the personal daily loss limit, it really doesn't matter. So we're gonna save that and then lock settings for the, I think that's, okay, yeah. So that's locked for the day. So we're risking a max of 500, so I can't fucking full port the account. Now, if I'm in a trade and that position, it's meant to, or there's a logical reason behind letting it run a little bit, then I'm gonna let it run. Like I'm still going to be trading the same way as I do now. I just am gonna be a lot more picky with the setups, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm not going for huge home runs. I'm taking low-hanging fruit. I'm trading in a very disciplined environment. That's the whole goal. Is I want to showcase a disciplined environment. That's it. Now, when it comes to trading Asia session or entering a position pre-market, I'm going to leave that on the table because here's the thing: if we're chopping around all morning in New York session and it is dumb clear in Asia and we're moving towards a draw, I'm going to capitalize on the price action in Asia. We're going to be following rules and being disciplined, but we're not going to be stupid. I think a lot of people look down on trading Asia, trading London, which 90 or 80% of the time, you probably shouldn't. 80% of the time, it'll chop you up. You'll sit there pulling your hair out. That shit sucks. But over the years now that I've been trading, I'm able to recognize when the volume is there and when the opportunity is there. And if that's the case, I'm going to trade it. And then I will explain to you, it'll be a good teaching moment. I will tell you guys why I decided to hop on the charts in Asia. And hopefully you guys, some of you guys can be comfortable with it. If some mornings you can't trade or whatever. So I'm going to leave trading the PM session. We're still allowed to do that. And then max amount of trades per day, like I showed, I didn't put a limit on there. I don't really think that matters too much. If I am up on the day, but I see another clear as day A+ setup, I'm going to take that setup. If I get break even on a trade and then I see another A+ reentry, then I'm going to take the reentry. So I don't really like max trades per day, so we're not gonna worry about that. So I think that just about covers everything. I don't really think there's anything left to go over. I am super, super pumped to start this. I've been wanting to do this for a while and decide, you know what, let's just pull the trigger on it. Let's do it. I think right now in the trading space, it'd be a very good time to do this series. Hopefully gain some hope back for some of you guys, but definitely turn notifications on if you want to stay updated on this series. But as always, I have the link to join my free Discord. That's going to be in the description of this video, so you can follow along with the series in live time. I post my bias every single morning. I post the draw and liquidity, exactly what I'm looking for. I review trades that you guys send in, whether it's win, loss, whatever. I review the trade, give you my insight on it, and it's all completely free. So definitely go join up. The community would love to have you. I'd love to have you. But with that being said, that is all I have. I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.